So the new champion Kled has been revealed, and he is a pretty cool one. The mechanics sound complicated in theory, but when you get a feel for it, it's pretty straightforward, so let's take a look at his kit and break it down. His passive is probably the most important mechanic, giving him his steed Skaarl. Bonus health goes to Skaarl instead of Kled, and they have a combined health bar with Skaarl eating damage first. When that health bar hits 0, he will run away. It's good to note that the hit that takes his HP bar to 0 won't bleed over into Kled's, so if you take a giant burst hit when Skaarl's HP bar is only 1 HP, the attack will only do 1 damage to your total HP bar. At that point, your kit changes, your autos do 80% damage, but your range goes up and you gain movement speed moving towards enemy champions. To get Skaarl back, you have to build up courage, which you get by last hitting minions, hitting enemy buildings, epic monsters, enemy champions, and also getting kills and assists. When you build up to full courage, you get your mount back. He doesn't come with full HP, but the amount he comes back with will go up as you level. A small note is that when you dismount from him, you are untargetable for a very small amount of time, which will clear target aggro and all that, but mounting up does not do so, so be careful on those dives. You don't always have to deal with the courage thing. Going back to base will bring him back too. One mechanic to keep in mind: if you dismount, remount, and dismount too quickly again, there's a debuff that prevents you from gaining courage for a bit, so you can't constantly just hop on and off. So to summarize, you need Skaarl to have your full kit. He has his own HP bar that takes damage first, and he pieces out when it hits 0. You then have to build courage back up to get him back. His Q has 2 different forms based on if you are mounted or not. When mounted, it's a skill shot that deals damage to units it passes through and attaches to the first enemy champion or large monster hit. If you stay near the target for 1.75 seconds, it will deal additional damage, yank them towards you, and apply a slow. There's an interesting mechanic here where the distance decreases during the duration, so you want to make sure you stay as close as possible, as the second proc holds a lot of the damage and utility of the spell. Unmounted, the spell is completely different. He shoots his pistol, doing Graves-esque auto pellet based damage and knocking him backwards. He uses the charge system with up to 2 charges and a 3-second cooldown between charge uses. Each pellet that hits an enemy champion restores 5% of your courage, so being close can give you quite a bit. The knockback is a lot like Caitlyn-y, and it can carry you over walls and such, so be sure to use that when you're chasing or trying to escape. Unlike his other skills, his W is used and the same in both forms. It's passive with a cooldown. On attack, you gain 150% attack speed for 4 attacks or up to 4 seconds, and the 4th hit does bonus damage and damage based on the target's max HP. You can't choose when to use it or not. It always activates when it's off cooldown and you auto, so it will be important for both you and the enemy to play around as well as possible. His E is mounted only, and there is nothing that replaces it when unmounted. You dash forward, dealing damage to enemies in your path. If you hit an enemy champion or large monster, you gain movement speed for 1 second and can reactivate the spell to dash back through the same target, dealing the damage again. The dash can't go through walls on the initial use, but it can go over walls to get back to the target on the second activation. Unlike say Renekton E, the second activation goes back through the same target, and an indicator will show which direction you will go on reactivation. It's not something you get to pick where you go. Finally, the ultimate is again an ability with no use unmounted, but when mounted, you charge to a location and leave behind this giant trail that increases allies' movement speed. You also gain a shield as you go, and you ram the first enemy champion encountered, doing damage based on their max HP with an increasing amounts based on the distance you traveled. Basically, you want to roll in, speed up your team following you, and try to do it from far enough away that you build up big damage and a big shield. Overall, Kled is going to be a champion where if you are using both procs of his Q and E and a good charge up on his ultimate, he's going to do a ton of damage and be difficult to kill, but if you aren't able to utilize those properly, he'll probably feel quite lackluster, so really make sure you are trying to get the most out of his kit. Last note, to celebrate the release of Kled, we're going to give away a couple of $10 RP cards, so you can buy Kled, you can buy a skin, you can buy whatever you want, the world is yours. If you want a chance to win, leave a comment what you think about the new champion, and then click the link in the description, and we will be giving those away, so look forward to that, and I will see you guys next time.